everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome to my top 5 books of September 2021. By now you know the drill, I am recapping the top 5 books that I have read every month plus whatever rereads I had, and there is a playlist that you can check out that has all the previous months as well as a playlist for all of my December daily videos. Alright, jumping straight into the stats and the books for December, I read 52 books in September. A lot of them were novellas. But I did read a total equivalent of 13,608 pages, so it was my biggest reading month of the year. In no particular order, some of my favourite books this month included The Slow Burn by Kristen Ashley. This is the second book in a duology and it is just, as the title suggests, a very slow burn story that was just gorgeous and exquisite and features something that I did not think that I would enjoy, which is a very alpha, I don't want to say controlling because it's not, I didn't feel like it was a negative type of controlling behavior, but the hero of the story likes to take charge in a relationship and wants to make sure that the heroine is safe and secure and has everything that she needs. So it is about Tobias Gamble, who is the brother of the hero from the first book, and he falls for Adeline, who is the sister of his brother's partner. And Adeline is a single mum. She has a very young child. She has been in a very bad relationship and she has come to the town where her sister lives in order to get away from that and to start fresh. But she is struggling financially. Everything is just coming to a head and it's very overwhelming for her. Tobias, has fallen in love with her and wants to help her, but also knows that he can't necessarily do both. So he tries to be the good friend. He tries to make sure that she has some financial stability and she has support without pushing for a relationship. But their relationship is just fantastic when they get there. So while it is a very, very slow burn book, it is so worth it. This month, one of my most anticipated releases came out and that was Saint by Sierra Simone. This is the third book in the Priest series and it features Aidan Bell, who is the youngest of the Bell brothers. He is a former playboy businessman who has basically a crisis moment and ends up turning to a monastery and becomes a monk. And when he does this, he leaves behind a relationship with his partner Elijah. Now, Elijah happens to be his older brother's best friend, and they never really resolved anything when Aidan split. He literally just cut ties with his life, and so everyone in his life was left reeling from that decision. And now he is constantly trying to find ways to find penance and find inner peace, and he's realized that it's not happening where he currently is, and so he is seeking monasteries in other places that might give him what he needs, which is to him and his mind lots of isolation, less contact with people, and hard work so that he doesn't have to really process a lot of his own inner issues. So he ends up going on this tour of monasteries that brew beer around Europe, and Elijah, who is a journalist, somehow finds out about this and decides to come along on this journey and report on monks that brew beer. And it is the rekindling of their relationship as they explore what that means. It is steamy, it is kinky, it is just gorgeously written in Sierra Simone's style. I love this series to pieces and I love Sierra Simone's writing. I read this book twice this month. It was that good. I also really loved The Lost Spells by Robert Macfarlane and Jackie Morris. This is a little collection of poetry and illustrations. It's all about the natural world. The illustrations tell the story as much as the poems do, and it is just a gorgeous little book to have, so I'm very glad that I have this one. Then I also read Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. This is a new adult-ish paranormal romance / horror-ish romance story. It is set in a small college town and you have Leon, who is a demon who has been trapped by a family of magicians for a significant period of time, and he's rather frustrated by this, but he has to do their bidding. Our heroine is Ray and she ends up in town and she gets caught up in this town's history and their quest to repay an old god lurking beneath the surface of the town. It is dark, it is creepy, it is very, very steamy, it is very taboo. There are a lot of hard kinks in the story and it does feature consensual non-consent. So this is one I would very strongly recommend that people check the content warnings for before beginning the book. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very gothic in tone and very atmospheric, but be aware of what you're getting into before you start it. And then finally, I have Rosaline Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. Alexis Hall is easily one of my favorite authors that I've read in the last 2 years. This is the story of single mum Rosaline, who has dropped out of college to raise her daughter Amelie, and she ends up getting a spot on one of the nation's most beloved baking shows. So if you're a foodie, you'll probably like this book. She's in desperate need of a financial boost, so the show and potentially winning the prize would be fantastic for her. But once she's there, she ends up getting caught between Alan, who is a very successful man who is very parent friendly and parent approved, and also a shy electrician named Harry, who is just very, very sweet. And while it is a romance, it is very much about Rosalind having to figure out exactly what it is that she wants in her life. This one does have some content warnings in here for consent and situations where characters are unaware of what they're getting into. Other than that, it is just an amazing book. I loved Rosalind. I loved her best friend / former girlfriend, and I absolutely adored her daughter as well. Great, great story, and I'm looking forward to the next one in this series. And then in terms of rereads, I actually had a lot of rereads this month. So I reread Magic Burns and Magic Bleeds from the Kate Daniels series for live shows, which I'll leave linked on the screen. And I also reread Priest, Midnight Mass, Sinner, and Saint with Shay and Brie, because we just decided that we wanted to reread the Priest series because it's fantastic. All right, so those are my top 5 books for September. In the comments, I would love to know what your favourite books in September were. Otherwise, if you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave any kind of cake emoji down below. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.